Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to another week of RCBytes. Today, we're going to talk about the data that's on your RC reports that you're generating within our platform. Many people think that our reasonable compensation reports are just pieces of wage data that are presented on a really pretty report. It's actually much more than that. We prepared and presented these reports in such a way where you can be protected from the IRS if you or your client is audited. We've also prepared the reports to help educate your client where this figure came from and proactively answer any of their questions. Now, the first page of your reasonable compensation report is a summary. You'll see at the top of the page the reasonable compensation wage, and then halfway through the second paragraph, you'll see the county and the state that this wage data is being pulled from. We also present two pie charts that show a segmentation of our data. The first segmentation is by task group, so how much time do they spend on their business, on managing, etc. The second is we're segmenting the salary by those tasks. So 37% of that reasonable compensation salary came from managerial tasks. Now, once we understand that, let's answer some common questions that I hear from customers and clients. First of all, is that compensation reasonable? Many times they'll get a figure and they'll say, that's way too low. My client's making $1 million a year in revenue. That can't be the reasonable compensation. Or vice versa. Maybe they think it's too high. Now, there are a number of factors that go into calculating a reasonable compensation, and because of that, it is not an exact science. What we're doing with a reasonable compensation figure is we're creating a reasonable and defensible wage. So if the IRS does come with an audit, you can not only show them the reasonable compensation figure, but you can show them the data and methodologies behind how you got that figure. Which takes me into my next commonly asked question is, how did you arrive at that wage? Now, RC Reports maintains and updates the largest wage database in the United States. We are literally the #1 wage data source in the USA. With that, we apply the methodologies that the IRS uses when they calculate reasonable compensation. So not only do we have the most data, which equals accurate data, we are also using that way that the IRS uses it. So when they do come for an audit, you can be comfortable knowing that the data that you have is accurate and that the methodologies that we're using to calculate that reasonable compensation figures are being applied in the way that the IRS applies them. If you are a premium customer, you actually have access to our audit and litigation support, which allows us to help you if you or your client do go through an audit. Now, there is much more that we could talk about. If you have any questions about what I shared with you today, or if you have scenarios you'd like to walk through with me, please let me know. My goal is to make sure you're getting the most out of RC Report. Thank you everyone for joining today. I hope you found this helpful, and have a great day.